Hey y'all, hey, and welcome to Joana Conclusions with me, Christina B. Our case today takes place in Baltimore, Maryland. A mother and daughter go missing just hours apart on the same day and haven't been seen since. Let's discuss. Joana Clark, 33, is a mother of 7, with her oldest child being a daughter, Shariece, 15. On the last day that both were seen, February 4th, 2017, Shariece was at home babysitting her 6 younger siblings while her mother worked. Once Joana was home and Shariece was relieved from her babysitting duties, she left the house off to do teenage things. She was last seen around 2:30 p.m. She didn't have a history of running away, and there was no activity on her cell phone or social media since she was last seen, which was uncommon for the teenager. Her phone did last ping from a tower in downtown Baltimore, but when family went to search there, she was nowhere to be found. Joana was home with her 6 young children until her boyfriend, Dennis Queen, came home to relieve her. Once he was there, Joana got ready and went out with friends. She was on the phone with her best friend around 11 p.m. when she said that she was almost home. It's unknown if she ever made it back to the home or if she disappeared somewhere along the route. Joana didn't show up to work the next 2 days. She worked with her aunt, so when she noticed that Joana had been a no-call, no-show for 2 days, she reached out to the best friend to see if she had seen or heard from her. The best friend hadn't, not since that night that she was out, so she became worried and decided to go by the apartment herself. When she got to the apartment, one of Dennis Queen's older children was at the home and told the best friend that Joana hadn't been home all weekend. Now, this was strange because though Joana may go out and hang out with friends every once in a while, there's no way she would leave her children unattended for days. So the best friend asked the child, well, what about Shariece? And the child again responded, nope, she hasn't been home all weekend either. Now, this was equally odd because if Joana wasn't home with the children, then of course Shariece would be, but neither one of them being home raised red flags for the best friend. Her next step was Sharice's school. She went there and talked to the principal, who let her know that Shariece had not been in attendance in the last 2 days. She took this information to Joana's family, where they discovered that neither Joana or Shariece had been seen or heard from in over 2 days. The next morning, February 7th, they reported them both missing. A $2,500 reward was issued for any information on finding the 2 women. While the initial investigation was going on, the children were placed in the custody of the state and are now living with their father. It is believed that Joana's boyfriend, Dennis, had something to do with the disappearance. He and Joana had been in a relationship for 13 years, and he was the father of all 6 of her younger children. Joana found a protective order against Dennis just months before she disappeared. He was also the last person known to have seen her. The family states that there had been an issue or an altercation between Dennis and Shariece, and this had been the cause for Joana kicking him out, which lends to a motive. He was going to lose his home, and maybe he decided to handle that by making Joana and Shariece disappear. But of course, Dennis Queen denies any involvement. A witness claims to have heard, the night the pair went missing, a loud bang and then the sound of something being dragged down the stairs. But they said they never saw anything. Though Dennis is a plausible lead, authorities have not yet named him a suspect. They do suspect the mother and daughter were met with foul play, but there's no physical evidence to tie him to the disappearances, and the case remains unsolved. Now, my theory is that Joana was indeed in the process of kicking Dennis out for whatever had taken place between he and Shariece. When Joana got home that day, she let Shariece go out and do what she wanted, and Shariece somehow ran into Dennis, who was supposed to be at work. In their conversation or altercation or whatnot, he ended up fatally injuring Shariece. And then he went about his day as usual, coming home at the end of his work shift to take over for Joana, who then went out with friends. When she came home later that evening, they too got into an argument, and he also fatally injured her, which would be the bang the neighbor heard, and then he left with her body to dispose of it, which would be the dragging sound that the neighbor heard on the stairs. Now, though that makes sense, to me at least, there isn't any evidence to prove that. But somebody knows something, and hopefully they'll come forward and his family can get justice, and Joana and Shariece can come home. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. Please like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Comment down below. Talk shit if you got to. I love you. Be great. Be you. I'll see you soon.